My name is Kayleigh. I grew up in a Catholic home, so I grew up with really great parents and a really great family. They raised me in the church, so I kind of knew what a relationship with God was and who Jesus was, so that was normal to me. I think when I went to college, I was excited to be away from my family. I was excited to make my own decisions. I was living in the city of Chicago at the age of 18, so I had all of this freedom and lack of responsibility. My classes were easy. It wasn't necessarily a decision to walk away from God, it was just a decision to do what I wanted to do. It's not an offense to the church that I went to or my family, but a relationship with God was never really a thing. It was like God was a distant creator and he didn't want a personal relationship with us. Even though he sent his son as a sacrifice, it wasn't something that was personal and that was a tangible thing. When I went to college, I kind of decided to just do my own thing. I didn't really feel like church was a part of my life, made decisions I shouldn't have made. So I actually transferred colleges my second year of college, and as soon as I went there, I got involved in a Christian group on campus. It worked out really cool. People on my floor in my dorm introduced me to this Christian group, so that was definitely one of the best decisions I made, to connect with those people and get involved. And some of the girls that I met in that group are some of my best friends today. And then when I moved home from college, I was looking for a church similar to the one I went to in college. So I was checking out churches in the area and someone referred me to Suncrest. So I went to it and right away I knew it was what I was looking for. It was one of those churches where I went and I knew that I was part of a group where people knew that they were broken and they made mistakes and they had a long way to go, but they knew that God loved them, and that was a place I wanted to be. When my faith became even more important to me, so when I decided to be baptized again as a Christian was last year around Easter. I had been involved in that small group and I feel like they encouraged that decision. So that was a great decision. My brother went to church with me on Easter the next Sunday, and it was really cool to see how he responded to that. And then the leaders of our group actually moved away, so I started to lead that group. Again, that was a faith-based decision. It was a hard decision because I do have a lot going on with my family and with school, but I'm really glad that I did that, and I've seen people grow in our group, and that's even impacted my relationship with Christ. So I had been, again, in my small group. There were a couple of people that I was discussing baptism with. It was one of those things that I knew I wanted to do eventually. I didn't really have a time frame on it. And it honestly happened randomly. I had been discussing it with our Highland campus pastor, Wes. So I knew that it was a decision I was about to make. And honestly, I went to the St. John campus for service the Sunday before Easter last year. And Greg had a very moving sermon, our St. John campus pastor. And they were inviting people up to be baptized, and I kind of made the decision on the spot, and it was great because it was a decision on my own and it was on God's timing, not mine, which I think made it even more special. So since I've been going to Suncrest and being involved in my small group, it's made a huge impact on how I view God as a relational being. So it impacts my everyday. So I spend every day praying. A lot of time I do journal, and I just feel like God is there. I include God in decisions. I feel like God changes those decisions and changes me and shapes me into the person I am, and that impacts the relationships that I have as well. So for me, like when I take the time to let God be involved in my life, when I ask, when I want God to be, it makes a huge impact. I would definitely say that I used to be lost and going my own way and doing my own thing without a specific direction, and it's great to know that that's not the case, and that I'm loved by the God who created me, and that God has a plan for me and he's setting me in the direction he wants me to go.